You think you understand Japanese work culture until you realize no one told you the rules. Rules that aren't written. Rules no one explains. Rules that can make or break how you're perceived without you even knowing. These are the hidden rules of Japanese workplace etiquette. And if you're coming from a Western country like the United States, what's normal to you might be completely unacceptable here. Why is no one leaving the office before the boss? Why does sumimasen mean more than just excuse me? Why does silence in meetings speak louder than words? If you've ever worked or planned to work in Japan, you need to understand that politeness here isn't just about being nice. It's about reading the air. It's about knowing what not to say. It's about fitting into a rhythm that most foreigners never even notice. In this video, we'll explore 10 hidden etiquette rules in Japanese workplaces. Rules that often confuse, surprise, or even frustrate foreigners. But we won't just list them. We'll compare them side by side with how things are done in American offices. And by the end, you'll not only see what makes Japanese work culture unique, you'll understand the values behind it. So let's begin with the first rule. The one that confuses every foreigner on their very first day. Section 1: Why no one leaves before the boss. Have you ever stayed late at work just because your boss was still there? In Japan, that's not just common, it's expected. In many Japanese companies, leaving before your manager is quietly discouraged. No one says it out loud, but everyone feels it. You could finish all your work, but if your boss is still typing, you'll likely stay seated, pretending to work just to maintain harmony. Why? Because in Japanese work culture, hierarchy and group harmony are deeply valued. Leaving early might make you look selfish, or worse, disrespectful. This surprises many foreigners. In the U.S., finishing your tasks and leaving on time is seen as responsible. In Japan, staying late even when unnecessary can be viewed as loyalty. There's even a phrase for it: Zongyo wa seishin da. Overtime is a matter of spirit, not efficiency, not output, but spirit. You're not just doing your job. You're showing dedication by being there. Of course, this isn't universal. Some modern companies are changing. But in many traditional workplaces, this invisible pressure still exists. So ask yourself, if no one tells you to stay late, but everyone around you does, would you leave anyway? In Japan, the workday doesn't always end with the clock. Sometimes, it ends when the boss stands up. Section 2: Why sumimasen isn't just excuse me. Can one word mean excuse me, thank you, and sorry all at once? In Japanese, yes, and that word is sumimasen. It's one of the most commonly used words in Japan. But its meaning depends entirely on how you use it. You say sumimasen when you bump into someone, just like excuse me. You also say it when you want to get someone's attention, like a waiter or coworker. That part might feel familiar. But here's what surprises many foreigners. You also say sumimasen when someone gives you something. Yes, even when you're supposed to say thank you. Why? Because the word isn't just about the situation. It's about expressing humility. When someone helps you, gives you a gift, or does you a favor, you say sumimasen to show you feel grateful, and maybe even a little sorry for troubling them. It's a soft apology, a quiet "I appreciate your effort," and a thank you wrapped in modesty. In the workplace, this matters even more. Instead of saying arigato directly, many coworkers use sumimasen deshita after receiving help. It's not about guilt, it's about respect. In English, one word equals one meaning. But in Japanese, one word carries many layers. Sumimasen is a great example of that complexity. So next time someone hands you something, and you want to show thanks the Japanese way, try saying sumimasen. You'll be understood perfectly. Section 3: Why meetings are so quiet in Japan. Have you ever sat through a Japanese meeting and wondered if anyone was allowed to speak? You're not imagining it. Japanese meetings really are quiet, and that's intentional. In Western countries, meetings are about discussion. The louder, the more engaged. Speak up, debate, offer your opinion. But in Japan, silence is not a lack of ideas. It's a sign of listening, respect, and sometimes, even disagreement. In Japanese meetings, people don't interrupt. They don't challenge ideas directly. They wait, they read the room, and sometimes they say nothing at all. To a foreigner, it can feel strange. Why won't they say what they think? But here's the thing, they are. Just not with words. In Japan, communication is often non-verbal. A pause, a nod, a long silence, these all carry meaning. And in a group setting, it's more important to maintain harmony than to win an argument. This doesn't mean people lack opinions. It means they're careful about when and how to express them. Sometimes, the real decisions aren't made in the meeting. They're made in quiet one-on-one chats afterwards, or through email, or even body language. So next time you're in a Japanese meeting and it feels too quiet, ask yourself, are they being silent or are they speaking in a different way? Because in Japan, silence isn't empty. It's full of meaning. Section 4, why yes doesn't always mean yes. Have you ever had a Japanese coworker say yes, but then not follow through? You're not alone. And no, they weren't lying. In Japanese, saying hi doesn't always mean yes, I agree. Sometimes, it simply means I heard you. It can also mean, I understand what you're saying. Or even, I disagree, but I don't want to argue. This can confuse Westerners, especially Americans. In English, yes is clear, direct, a commitment. In Japanese, it's softer, more layered, and context is everything. So why not just say no? Because in Japan, saying no directly can feel confrontational. Instead, people show disagreement through hesitation, indirect words, or silence. You might hear, "Sore wa chato," which literally means, that's a bit. But what it really means is, no, just very gently. You might also hear, "Kenget okamasu," I'll think about it, which often means no, but I won't say it now. This cultural tendency is tied to harmony or wa. Avoiding direct conflict keeps relationships smooth, even if it means being vague. In the workplace, this matters a lot. A polite yes might actually mean no, not possible. And if you take it at face value, you'll end up confused or frustrated. So what can you do? Listen for tone, watch body language, and when in doubt, follow up politely. Try, just to confirm, was that a yes to move forward? Because in Japan, understanding the real meaning of yes takes more than ears. It takes awareness. Section 5, why small talk can feel so awkward in Japan. Ever tried to make small talk with a Japanese coworker and got nothing but polite silence? You're not being ignored. You're just entering a different communication culture. In many Western countries, small talk is social glue. How was your weekend? Crazy weather today, right? It's friendly, casual, a way to build connection. But in Japan, casual conversation with colleagues, especially in formal settings, can feel awkward. Why? Because Japanese communication values precision, hierarchy, and context. In other words, you don't just talk for the sake of talking. Every word should have a reason, especially in the workplace. Also, many people feel pressure to speak properly. In professional environments, even if they want to chat, they may worry about saying something inappropriate. So instead of relaxing into conversation, they hold back. Silence, in this case, is not rejection. It's restraint. Another factor? In Japanese culture, relationships take time. Trust is built slowly, through consistency and shared experiences, not through quick jokes or casual chats. So when a foreign coworker jumps into light conversation, some may freeze, not because they're cold, but because they're unsure how to respond without breaking formality. What can you do? Start with safe, shared topics like food, weekend plans, or travel. Watch their reactions. Be patient. Don't push too hard too soon. Over time, those polite silences may turn into warm smiles, and eventually, into real conversations. Because in Japan, connection isn't fast. It's quiet but deep. Section 6, why no one says what they really mean. Have you ever walked away from a Japanese conversation thinking, wait, what did they actually mean? You're not alone. Because in Japan, people rarely say exactly what they think. But why? In many Western cultures, especially in the U.S., saying what's on your mind is seen as honest and confident. Speak your truth, say it like it is. But in Japan, communication isn't always about clarity. It's about balance, about avoiding conflict, about protecting harmony. That's why many Japanese people use indirect language, soft expressions, vague phrases, and what some foreigners call the long way around. For example, instead of saying that's a bad idea, someone might say, it could be difficult. Instead of saying I disagree, they might say nothing or change the subject gently. Is it confusing? Yes. Is it dishonest? Not at all. It's a different kind of honesty, one that values the relationship more than the argument. In Japan, being too direct can feel aggressive. It risks embarrassing others, and in a group-centered culture, that's something to avoid. So ask yourself, is it more important to say what you mean, or to protect how others feel? Which do you value more, truth or harmony? This cultural gap often leads to misunderstandings. Foreigners may feel ignored. Japanese coworkers may feel overwhelmed. But once you understand this hidden rule, you'll begin to hear what's really being said even when it's not spoken aloud. Because in Japan, words are just part of the message. The real meaning is often between the lines. Section 7. Why overtime is still seen as dedication. In many countries, working overtime means you're disorganized or your workload is too heavy. But in Japan, staying late can still be seen as a sign of dedication. How did this idea take root? After World War II, Japan rebuilt its economy through discipline, group loyalty, and relentless hard work. The salaryman became a national symbol, someone who stayed late, sacrificed personal time, and gave everything to the company. Even today, that mindset remains in many traditional workplaces. Leaving on time doesn't always signal efficiency. It can be misread as laziness or lack of commitment. Of course, things are changing. Work-life balance is a growing conversation. Some younger companies even encourage employees to go home early. But in many offices, the old thinking persists. If you care about your job, you stay. Even if there's no work left. Even if you're just clicking around to look busy. It's not about output, it's about presence. About showing that your heart is still in the game. To a foreigner, this can feel frustrating or even pointless. Why stay late if the work is done? But to many Japanese workers, the question is deeper. What does it mean to be loyal? In Japan, dedication isn't just about results. It's about effort, endurance, and sometimes quiet sacrifice. So if you're working in Japan, and you're the first to stand up at 6 p.m., don't be surprised if others glance up, just for a moment. Because in Japan, what time you leave still speaks volumes. Section 8. Why Nomikai are more than just drinks. It's just drinks after work, right? That's what many foreigners think when they're invited to a Japanese Nomikai. But in Japan, a Nomikai is more than a casual hangout. It's an extension of the workplace. A Nomikai is an after-hours drinking party with coworkers. It usually happens at an izakaya, a Japanese pub. And no, it's not mandatory. But if you say no too often, people might start to notice. So why do these gatherings matter so much? Because in the structured world of Japanese office life, Nomikai offer rare moments of openness. You can speak more freely. Titles loosen. People laugh, joke, and sometimes say what they really feel, something they'd never say during a meeting. For many Japanese workers, relationships are built not in the office, but at the table. Trust is formed over shared drinks, casual conversation, and quiet understanding. And yes, there is usually a lot of alcohol. But it's not really about drinking. It's about being present, about showing you're part of the team. There's even a phrase for this: nomunication, a blend of nomu to drink and communication. That's how important it is. For a foreigner, Nomikai can feel confusing or exhausting. Why should my social life be tied to work? But in Japan, work and relationships are deeply connected. You don't have to drink. You don't have to stay long. But if you show you've been once in a while, you show that you understand the hidden rules. Because in Japan, sometimes the real work starts after work. Section 9. Why business cards are treated like gold. It's just a piece of paper, right? Not in Japan. In Western countries, a business card is often handed over casually. Sometimes with one hand, sometimes even mid-conversation. And after that, it often ends up in a pocket, wallet, or drawer forgotten. But in Japan, the business card is sacred. It's not just your contact info. It's your identity, your rank, your role in society. When you receive a business card in Japan, there's a ritual. You accept it with both hands. You take a second to read it. You don't shove it in your pocket. You don't write on it. And you never fold it. Why so much respect? Because in Japanese culture, the card represents the person. Treat the card poorly, and you're seen as treating the person poorly. It's about honor, not just information. In meetings, you may see people line up the cards in front of them, like a name map of the room. It shows attentiveness and respect for each participant's role. So if you're doing business in Japan, learn the rules. Carry clean cards, offer them with care, and when you receive one, treat it like you're holding someone's name with both hands and full attention. To you, it might be paper, but to them, it's the face they're showing the world. And in Japan, how you treat that face says everything. Section 10. Why Japanese etiquette isn't about rules, it's about respect. Is Japanese etiquette just a long list of confusing rules? It might seem that way at first. Take off your shoes. Bow at the right angle. Say Sumimasen even when you're not sorry. Don't leave before the boss. Don't fold the business card. It's a lot to remember. But here's the truth. Japanese etiquette isn't about memorizing rules. It's about showing respect through action, tone, and presence. These customs aren't meant to trap you. They're meant to guide you into harmony with others, to help you move through shared spaces with consideration. In many cultures, etiquette is about correctness. In Japan, it's about awareness. You don't bow because it's expected. You bow because it says, I see you, I acknowledge you, I respect you. You don't speak softly because you're shy. You speak softly to avoid taking up too much space. You don't stay late to impress your boss. You stay late because no one else has left and you don't want to break the group's rhythm. It may look rigid from the outside, but once you understand the why, it becomes beautiful, intentional, human. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to follow every custom flawlessly. But if you act with humility and with genuine care, you'll already be speaking the language of Japanese respect. In the end, etiquette in Japan is not about being right. It's about being kind, and that is something the whole world can understand. Cultural habits like this may seem small, but they reflect big ideas. How does your culture compare? Let's share and learn from each other. Leave a comment if you'd like. And please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.